Section 1 of 2 timed finals. Your national meet and armory record were set here last year by Waverly Near, Culver Academy, Culver, Indiana, 1635.15. Hip number 1, Teresa Enright, Western Cary, North Carolina, an all-state runner in cross country. Hip 2, Tabby Arwood, Lebanon, Virginia, third in the state 1600 meters, second in the 3200 meters. Hip 3, Bryce Seymour from Florida. Hip 4, Brittany Day, a junior from Haworth Day. Hip 5, Shannon O'Hare, Satcham Spike Track Club. Hip 6, Bo Midden, State Federation qualifier, she's a junior. Hip 7, Julia Rubin Armstrong, Boyceville Track Club from New York. Hip 8, Ashley Welburn, Knoxville, Tennessee. Hip 9, Jessica Wasabi, Western Cary, North Carolina. Hip 10, Lila Mantia, Penfield, New York. Hip 11, Savannah Lips. Hip 12, Maggie's Back, Connecticut, out of New York. Hip 13, Kevin Griffin, Northland Prep, all-state and cross-country. Hip 14, Elizabeth Dawson from South Carolina. Hip 15, Audrey Gould from Pelham, Massachusetts, first in the Division II state 2-mile. Hip 16, Ariel Wiener, Colts Neck, New Jersey, sixth in the Eastern States 2-mile. Hip 17, Shannon Kelly, 6 school records from New Jersey. Hip 18, Brandy LeClaire, Fitch, Connecticut, second in the 3200 meter at the Class L State Championships. Hip 19, Hannah Rose, Group A cross-country champion from Virginia. Hip 20, Ariana North from New Jersey, 9th at the group championships. Hip 21, Jackie Wilsey, Academy of the Holy Names, first in the 3000, the Section 2 Division Championships. Hip 22, Ann Laura White, Brooklyn Technical, 5th at the Eastern States 2-mile. Hip 23, Lindsay Akuri, Bayshore, New York. Hip 24, Alex Justice, Western Branch, Maryland. Hip 25, Mary Grace Doggett, Cardinal Gibbons, first in the state in the 3200 meters. And your leader, Bryce Seymour, a junior from Florida. In second, Lila Mantia, Penfield, New York, 10th in the state 1500 meters.
Our meet statistician, Mike Kennedy, tells us that there are no 5,000 meter times recorded in the country for the ladies, so the winner of this section will be our U.S. leader until the next section runs.
Sounds good. It's never bad to be a U.S. leader, even for a few minutes.
Seymour with about an 80-meter lead right now on the rest of the field.
Coming up on the 1,600 meters for Bryce Seymour. Under 5:30 for the 1,600 for Bryce Seymour.
Layla Mantilla, followed by Elizabeth Dawson and Maggie Zapp.
Seymour on PR pace.
Mantilla still running in second. Bryce Seymour, she's going to be coming up on the 2-kilometer mark. That'll give us some indication of her overall pace. .654 at 2 kilometers. So averaging about 3:27 per K.
In third, Maggie's back. Layla Mantilla still in second. Bryce Seymour still in first. This is a lonely race when you're running it all by yourself like Bryce Seymour, but she has maintained her pace well so far.
Seymour beginning to lap runners, trying to get herself onto the medal stand from this first of 2 sections. A loaded field. Warming up for section 2. You'll want to stick around and see it. Seymour will be coming up to the 2,500 meter halfway point. We're going to get you an approximate split. 8:39 at the halfway.
Well under her PR for Bryce Seymour. This is an unusual race for high schoolers. Most of them do not run a 5K indoors or outdoors during the season. So these 25 laps can take a long time. I used to try to avoid looking at the lap counter until I was at least at halfway, which is where Bryce Seymour is. Mantilla is still in second. She's coming around to the back stretch in all black. And in third, Julia Rubin Armstrong from Boyceville, New York. Just a sophomore.
So my announcing partner for this race, Stephanie Duringer, herself a 10K All-American in college from Michigan State, and also an Olympic trials marathoner, so she knows what she speaks of for these distance races. Tell us a little bit more about what's going through these girls' minds probably right now, Steph.
I think right now, David, that they're just thinking about getting through this to the last mile, and then at the last mile it becomes a little bit more manageable mentally. So they're just trying to work on their form, maybe looking ahead and trying to pass lapped runners and just kind of get through it until 8 laps to go.
Here's Seymour again, crossing. Still looking very strong in the lead.
Here's second place, just crossing through the finish line, Lila Mantilla, Penfield, New York. Your leader, Bryce Seymour, coming up to the 3,200 meters when she crosses through the finish line. 11:11 for the 3,200 meters for Bryce Seymour, your leader this entire race, running by herself, maintaining good form, trying to keep her pace up as she tries to break her PR and get into the top 6 these timed finals. Top 6 will be All-American.
Stephanie, once you're in a race and you're beginning to lap people, is that more of a help or a hindrance to the runner out in front?
I think it can be a little bit of both, David. You know, it's nice to have somebody to look at and aim for, but when you have to kind of get out of your groove and go around them, then that kind of can mess with you a little bit mentally, but I think it's more of a help, really, to have somebody to focus on up ahead.
Seymour and Mantilla, first and second, they're still separated by more than 50 meters, but they seem to be running essentially at the same pace now. No real change, nobody pulling away or dropping off. The drama comes with third through the rest of the places here. Seymour with a lot of life left in her legs, looking strong on the back stretch.
So David, as a coach, how would you mentally prepare your athlete for a race like this that they've never run before?
Always a challenge to get that new experience, especially on the national level. These girls are cross-country runners, probably every single one of them. They've run 5K plenty of times. It's more of the mentally breaking down the race into sections on the track so that they can stick with their focus. 25 laps in one big chunk is too hard to focus. 5 laps at a time or known quantities like the 1,600 and 3,200 split, that's more doable, especially for a young runner. Seymour coming up, she'll have 1K to go. Mantilla continues and she is into the stretch now. 14:08 with 1 kilometer to go. Somewhere in that 17:30 to 17:40 range, depending on how well Seymour is able to pick it up. Mantilla seems to be using the lapped runners to help her surge. Those two standing out amongst this first section. Seymour wearing hip number 3, crosses with 4 to go.
Seymour, your leader, now on the first curve in the all black, moving on to the backstretch. Mantia in second place, now also moving on to the backstretch. That's hip number 10.
All right, crowd, here's where you can help Bryce Seymour. She's going to cross with 2 laps, 400 meters to go. We need St. Benedict's boys to the podium for their awards, please. St. Benedict's DMR boys to the podium.
Bryce Seymour, the junior from Florida, hip number 3. She is coming onto the backstretch. Let's give her a hand. She has worked very hard this entire race, running it all alone. On the backstretch in the all black, hip number 3, Bryce Seymour. Lila Mantia, hip number 10 in second. Seymour, Mantia. And it is Mantia winning. She was in second place the entire race and really made a strong surge that last lap. Overcame the strong up front running of Bryce Seymour, the junior from Florida. Waiting on official results for Lila Mantia and Bryce Seymour.
Girls DMR teams that just picked up your medals, we now have your All-American t-shirts for you as well. Please head back to the awards area. DMR teams from the girls, head back to the awards area to pick up your All-American t-shirts to go with those medals. That away, ladies, keep it going. Again, a very fast loaded field coming up. We have full introductions for you.